Hey guys, Aaron the Darkblade here, and the D2 beta has been out for over a day now, and I got about 5 hours extensive play in it yesterday. I've already uploaded a video of some of the PvP gameplay. I'll be uploading footage of the inverted Spire Strike later. We dicked around a little bit in the beginning trying to find the lost sector, which you can't actually enter yet, but that will be later. So this is just going to be some footage. I'm not bothering to drop down the screen. You can see some of my reactions from things. Don't ask what I was doing with my phone there. But I did want to talk a little bit about what I thought about the game and so far. And so far, I'm absolutely loving it. It's been great. I did have a lot of salt, and if you go check my Twitter, there's a lot of salty tweets that I'm not going to bother deleting, because there is a disclaimer on my Twitter that I post a lot of salty tweets, and a lot of lag got to me. It is a beta. There's going to be lag. But I had to mute everybody here so I could hear the audio for the game. I really wanted to get into it. But I really enjoyed the game. The beginning mission, the homecoming mission that I'm showing here, was great. It just brought up a lot of feels, and it was great to see all these characters doing a lot more, getting to interact with both Shaxx, Zavala, and Cayde, and Ikora in the mission. That was great, and I want to see more of that in actual Destiny 2. And the strike itself was great, a lot more so like the basic strikes we had, with just a lot more mechanics, just different mechanics really. And that's great. The strike system isn't broken. It does get boring after a while, so they'll have to find a way to keep up replayability, but that's not in the beta. That's neither here nor there. So, as for story and how they've done the PvE that we've seen so far, I really enjoy it. Now, I wish there was more drops for the power ammo, because as I'm sure you know, they have changed special weapons, and basically shotguns, snipers, and fusion rifles are now in the heavy weapon slot, and you get a secondary primary. Sidearms are included, but they're not that good. So you basically have two primaries and then either a special or a heavy, if you're looking at it from Destiny 1 perspective. That's basically how it is. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed getting to play that first mission. So the story, it looks like it's following a very good path, because a lot of the lore is going to be in the story rather than in Grimoire, and it's going to focus a lot more on not just clicking on a mission, loading in, and Go says a few things, you go in, do something, Go says something else, you're done. And that was the story before. And now this is going to be a lot more of a linear, stick to the story sort of thing that has lore and you meet characters and interact with people, and I'm really interested to see how it goes. I really liked the interface that they gave us. I don't like having to go to the directory to see my roster. You can inspect players. That's not the best, but this is still a beta build, and I don't think they wanted us to do that in the beta. And I believe that will change when the main game comes out. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, look how sexy that hunter looks. But I did get a lot of gameplay with the hunter. I'm going to be getting some gameplay with the other classes today and over the next couple of days. My great-grandmother just passed, and so I will be off for a few things, and I won't be dedicating all my playtime, but I am taking some time off work, so when I'm not with my family, I will have plenty of time to stream, and I will be streaming all of Destiny 2. My Twitch link will be down in the description, and you can come watch me and as I play. I'm not the best, but I do have fun, and I do think I can be a fun person. Anyways, off the self-promotion. The game is good so far, story-wise. I really enjoy the PvE and the gameplay. I'd like to have more ability spam in PvE, because that was one of the great things about Destiny, was just the plethora of using abilities. And I think it needs to be buffed a bit. The usage of abilities needs to be taken up quite a bit. Because you feel a bit weak only using your guns in PvE. That's can sort of fit into how the story is right now. They haven't really given us a lore reason why we're able to use our abilities in the strike. And I'm sure they will when we actually play the story missions before the strike. They haven't given us anything about what's going on in the strike. just the main dialogue that's in there, and I will be, like I said, I'll be uploading a video on it later, probably tomorrow. But this game is beautiful, and I'm really enjoying it. The hunter, all the classes having the same melee range, the same movement speed, just different kinds of movement. It was really enjoyable knowing that they're a lot more balanced, and they still have things that make them unique. Hunters come with a lot more base mobility than anybody else, and I'm jumping. As you can see in this gameplay, I set my mobility up real high. My mobility was up real high. So in a little bit, I'm facing some enemies, and I'm jumping up, and I'm landing on roofs, and they've got that little pull-up ability where when you land and you don't fully make the jump, your character will grab on and pull yourself up, and it is the coolest. I've wanted that for so long. Everybody has. It is so sexy, man. I love it so much. The dodge ability is great, and I'm interested to try out the other subclasses' abilities. I feel hunters have less PvE utility other than just they're good at jumping around and staying alive, whereas, you know, Titans have that little shield thing, and ooh, look at that. Ugh, sexy. I loved interacting with Kay. He's got that sexy ace of spades. But, you know, Titans have the shield, and Warlocks have the rift, and I feel like Hunter's dash isn't as useful. Your abilities do transfer over. Like when you're, what is it called? I can't seem to remember. The hunter ability, basically, you know, getting headshots gives you, you know, buffs you here and there. I think, like, giving you better reload speed. That transfers over to your teammates. While you have that buff, they have that buff. So hunters do have some utility, but I feel like they have less utility than the others in PvE. But still very, very fun, very enjoyable. As for PvP, which I have already uploaded some gameplay, and more gameplay will definitely be to come. Especially with the other classes, but there's obviously a little bit of problem with it. I mean, it's just a beta. You know, there's some lag problems. It's a beta. I don't expect them to have everything fixed. The exotics, like this gun right here, the Sunshot, the exotics feel exotic. You know, and in PvP, it feels like right now everything has a place, but you know, as again, it's a beta. We don't know the meta. But it's very fun. The competitive mode is very competitive. I found it harder than Trials of Osiris at the current moment. And once again, that's just because I'm still not used to everything that it has to do, and I'm not the most competitive person. But it does feel very competitive and very hard. And the regular just control is very fun. I feel it's very balanced. And overall, it's not the ability spam, sidearm, and icebreaker that Destiny is right now. And it makes me happy that, you know, we get to play some where we're not at the same sort of crazy pace, but it's still more fast-paced than we initially believed it would be. And I had a lot of fun with it, and, you know, I just got to get over some of my saltiness, and you know, it'll be a lot more fun. Oh, and something that just reminded me to include. There's some interesting little mechanics. Like, there's these incendiary guys with the Cabal that have these flamer tanks on their back, and a sniper will one-shot them, and it counts as precision damage when you shoot those things, and it'll explode and kill them. And, you know, there's a lot of fun little mechanics like that. And see, this is the scene where I'm jumping around a lot and grabbing onto stuff. And, I just find this, I'm so hyped for this, and I cannot wait for Destiny 2 to be able to play a hell of a lot more PvE and PvP, and it's just going to be really fun. So real quick, I'm going to let you watch this scene. I don't have any sound footage. My sound files messed up with the way I did everything, but if you see, I'm jumping over here, getting on everything, being around the enemy. There weren't as many places to do this in the Inverted Spire Strike. It was very straightforward, but if you look right here, I get up here, and then I make my way up here, shooting at enemies from up here. This is really cool. That is why I love that grab-on mechanic. It adds some things like this. I jump over this. I mean, these are things that you couldn't do in Destiny 1. And a lot of these great new mechanics just make this game feel great. And yes, it does look like Destiny 1, seem like Destiny 1. It is a sequel. But overall, I'm very hyped, very excited, and if you have a chance to play the beta and haven't yet, play the beta. But when that full game comes out, I'm going to be on that grind, and I expect you guys to be too, because this game is great. They've changed a lot of things from Destiny 1 that really needed to be changed, and I feel like Bungie's taken a really good direction, and I'm really happy. So, if I had sound footage, I'd play out the rest of the first mission. I am going to re-record the first mission for you guys to watch. So be on the lookout for that if you haven't gotten to see the gameplay, or if you're just looking to see some more of the gameplay of the first mission. Really interesting stuff. And till next time, guys, I'll be all over that beta. Watch out for that footage. Watch out for the footage.